Introducing the Paddy Power World Darts Championships.
Welcome back to Online Darts, everyone. We've got a little bit of content for after the Christmas break. Glenn, we're recording this a session to go because I know you've got to go. But first of all, first part of the tournament, what have you made of it?
Not what I thought it was going to be. I think I was asked the question, the year of the underdog, is it going to continue? And I didn't think it would. I thought the seeds would be pretty comfortable getting through, maybe 4 or 5, might not. How wrong could I be? You know, that you can just sense the nerves. And I've just listened to Johnny Clayton, and he was blob on in a sense that the competition for the seeds start on the 27th. They'll relax more. Their first round, you don't want to have your Christmas lunch and you're out the competition, so surprising.
Yeah, we touched on it with Johnny, and he played it down, but we've only seen 3-ton plus averages. We've seen a lot of mid to low 80 stuff. What are you putting that down to? Nerves, pressure, burnout?
No, definitely not burnout. I think they all prepare well to come here, and adrenaline alone will get you through a game at Alexander Palace. I'm not sure what the stats are in the first round of last year and previous years, but I still expect from the last 32 onwards we're going to see some ridiculously good games. I'm not panicking just yet. If you do well at Ali Pali, it's incredible what it does for your rankings. So you're watching players now who, you know, have had a poor season. They get to the third round and everything's rosy again. Robert Owen, Nick Kenny is a couple of examples there. And it's the same with the seeds. You can see everyone falling around them. So if they have one good run, you know, players are jumping up, and Premier League, is that on their mind as well?
Well, you touched on it there. It's almost as if no one wants these Premier League spots. It was hard enough to call before the tournament, and a lot of the runners and riders have played themselves out of contention, it looks like.
And all those outsiders, I thought, you know, let's give them a chance. Richie Edhouse, what a story that would be, that journeyman, almost Rocky Balboa style. Yeah. Mike DeDecker, who's come to the forefront, you know, Jermaine Watamina, who's playing well. But, you know, a couple of them players, Mike DeDecker, Richie Edhouse, Michael Smith, out first round. How do you pick them? Michael Smith, I think I said yesterday, Michael Smith is the Premier League's a better place when Michael Smith's in it because he ticks a lot of boxes. Massive 180 hitter, former champion of the world, big personality. He hasn't done himself any favours there, has he? I think he's out at the top 16 now, so it's going to be an incredibly difficult. I don't like the fact that you pick the Premier League because someone got the quarters or the semis of the Worlds. Don't forget the UK Open. Don't forget the competitions early doors in the year. It'd be really difficult.
Yeah, look, the big shock is Gary Anderson. Obviously, he was tipped by a lot to get to the final, even potentially I didn't win it as well. I don't mind saying that. What happened?
Well, number one, can I just say I've never sort of, as a journalist, as a pundit, I did this walkway chat and I've never experienced the atmosphere. You don't get that as a player, you know. You're backstage here where we are at Alexander Palace. You're sort of ushered onto the stage and you don't really appreciate the whole experience, the atmosphere last night. And I thought Gary was made for him. But let's give some credit to Jeffrey de Graaf, a player I've known for a decade, playing his idol up there. There's no way he can win. But that starts, isn't it? Gary's missing doubles. He didn't miss a double. It was unbelievable. But look, I love Jeffrey de Graaf, but Gary Anderson going out, it was a little bit sore.
Look, the big winner in this is Michael van Gerwen, because he was, let's be fair, he's not been in the best of form, and Gary was the big danger in the last 16, and that big danger has been removed. He must be sat at home in the Netherlands laughing.
The only problem that you don't want to do those, and Michael won't, is that look at that, I've got so-and-so now, so that's me in the quarters. Because you've seen with these players now that you can't overlook them, but no one's really standing out, you know. We had Callan Ridds, Jermaine Watamina, who's done really well. A couple of the seeds have just breezed through without playing great. I like Luke Humphrey's draw. I think that's opened nicely with Barney going out there. Little he'll be fairly happy. He's got Ian White next. Then you're in the tournament. And when it gets that last 16 and quarters, I think that's when we'll see really explosive darts.
Look, talking of explosive darts, we saw 3 legs of the gods from Luke going 12, 10, 11, 10, 11. But did that mask an average performance?
Well, I was nervous. Do you know, I'm doing commentary, but I'm making the decision to go back to my hotel when I'm not. And I don't have Sky on my phone. So I'm watching Flash Score. I don't know if you've ever done it. I don't know if you've ever been away, Phil, and you're watching it there. And I'm like, what's going on? So I loved this interview, not the part where he was crying. I loved the interview where, look, and I hate the fact that I'm going to say his age, he's 17. It feels like he's got the whole of the world on his shoulders. He's protected nicely. You know, his family, his management, he has this security guard with him 24/7. But there's still an awful lot of pressure. He's 17. I was averaging 50 when I was 17, you know what I mean? And here he is, the whole world watching him, the most Googled sportsman in the UK in 2000. And all that's got to bring some pressure. But he found a way in the end. And then that last set just sort of confirmed what he can do.
You touched on the interview on stage afterwards and his age. Is that the first time that we've seen maybe the pressure get to him in this whole journey?
Yeah, I think it did. And I think Abby recognised that as well. I think, it's live TV. But I think Abby sort of say, oh, this is not what I think he's emotionally, let's cut it. It doesn't work like that. You know, you do live TV.
You're told in your ear.
I've just had a moment where I had a great line and all of a sudden I pull out the name James Wade, who's out, and then it knocks your confidence like that. So you're making split-second decisions there. I think she saw that Luke wasn't 100%. We saw the raw emotion. Then it's like everyone around that raw emotion. But he settled himself down for his interview later. It'll be interesting to see how he responds coming back.
What are you expecting after Christmas? Are you expecting the fireworks that we've all hoped for?
Yeah, this first and second round, I'm pretty sure we had a conversation last year, Ron, where this first round is a little bit nervy, Glenn. You know, the seeds aren't playing their best and blah, blah, blah. And then we go on to have the most amazing tournament. The competition starts in the last 32 with these seeds. They'll be preparing, they'll have Christmas with a family, they'll come back and they'll be raring to go.
What did you make of Joe Cullen'S press conference?
I wasn't that impressed. I loved it. When I was down in the dumps, I didn't get messages from people I thought I might, and I got messages from people I was surprised, and Joe Cullen was one of them. I felt it was premeditated, but Wessel, I came into the PDC in 2019, non-seeded, 7th favourite. The whole Wessel didn't want all that sort of attention there. He has been the better player this year, but Joe, I said before the dart was thrown, Joe and Dimitri van den Berg are two players, no matter how bad they're playing, when they get on the stage, they're a different beast. I think in hindsight he's watching and thinking, what have I done? So I don't think it sort of went like he was hoping to be. I think there's been some criticism there. But what the common denominator was, he played with fire in his belly, he played with anger, and averaged 100, one of the best performances from the seeds there. Is there something there that he needs to do? But in hindsight, I think he'll look back on it and maybe not be 100% happy with what he did.
When we spoke in the build up to this, you fancied Luke Littler to get the job done. Have you changed your mind?
Just because of that sort of nerves he's shown. I like the section of the draw for Luke Humphries. In my head, I was Chris Dobey. But my tipping has been pretty poor. And believe it or not, I didn't say Chris because I want Chris to win it. I didn't say Chris because I didn't want to put the mockers on him. And I think he's in a nice section. It'll be a blockbuster game with Josh Rock, but I think it's a section of the draw. He's got to fancy his chances. You know, the bottom section of the draw is quite tasty. That section 3 was always interesting, but the one thing that stands out right now, things are opening for the Green Machine. We said that he likes to be the headline act, and he's not these days. It just sends that. Is there another story coming from Michael Van Gerwen?
You touch on the story. Two bits on this before I let you go. One, Luke and Michael, if they all get to the quarterfinals, they all can't play in the evening. One of the egos is going to get put in the afternoon.
Got you.
And two, if he does get to the final and plays either Luke or Luke, I think this will be the first final that he wouldn't go off favourite. So there's a couple of interesting little dynamics.
Yeah, and there's so much more, and there'll be plenty of players there saying, hey, what about me? I'm about to go and commentate on Jan van Veen. I think, you know, he's one of those dangerous players, but a dream final would be Luke against MVG. If I could pick a final now, barring the fact I want Chris Dobey to win it, it would be that.
That's an absolute pleasure, and thank you very much for everything, mate.
Great job, well done in 2024, Phil. I think some of your interviews have been absolutely brilliant. We ended on a real aplomb with the Joe Cullen one day, but great work by you and all the guys.
Pleasure, mate. Thank you very much.